Rolling and the sound is speeding. Hi, welcome to another episode of This Week with Drew for Thursday, May 27th. On today's episode, I missed Monday for good reason, and we're going to talk about the fucking Oilers and the other shit. Cause you know I got some more fucking shit to spit on this motherfucker podcast that I dip and rip and clip and let it flip like I gonna trip on the motherfucker ass ahead. LSD, and you know I'm gonna have it at. Okay, anyways, that was a dumb one. Hi, welcome to another episode of This Week with Drew, the podcast about me, the podcast for me, about me, by Drew, for Drew. Okay, anyways, I was trying to think of, because it's like all my, like, not all my buddies, but a lot of my buddies have like podcasts that have themes and stuff. Like my one buddy has a baseball podcast. My one buddy has a video game podcast. I got another buddy with like a movie podcast. And it's like, I was like, what is my podcast about? It's like, well, it's about me. So it's not very marketable. It's like, but there's the juice, man. Don't worry. I got it figured out. No, I don't. But anyways, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in or listening or what's going on with you. Let's start the show off with a little bit of, how was my week? And my weekend, because I missed Monday. Okay, so yeah, it was a long weekend. I hope you guys had a good Victoria fucking day or whatever the fuck it was, long weekend. Victoria Day. You know, she never even came here, and she got her whole fucking day and an island and a city. Anyways, Queen Victoria. Oh, yo, and also she only took a bath like once a year too. Can you imagine that? Funky. Oh my god, man. But like, how did they like, especially when you're rich too? It's like you can like take like hot water. I don't understand without like, wouldn't you just feel nasty? Like when I go camping for 2 days, I just feel gross. And like they were eating like, yo, like back, they would eat like pheasants, and they had vomitoriums and stuff where they have like 14-course meals, and they would all go puke in between to just so they could keep eating. Like nobody showered for like 9 months, and it's like, could you imagine what the funk was like? Man, going back in time would be fucking crazy, and just going and smelling that, like just going there and just seeing that, man. Going fucking back in time, or anyways, would you go back in time or would you go forward in time? I do. If you had one option, you'd obviously have to go forward. Couldn't go back because you already know what happened. So you have to go forward and just be like, whoa. I wonder if you like go forward in time and the machine's like you only get to go like 7 years. It's like, yeah, you want a time machine? Well, there's only 7 more years left, and then you go past 7 and the whole like Earth explodes or something. Like, fuck, man, really? We didn't even get the skateboards from Back to the Future. Fuck. Are you serious? But that's how I got a little cousin. She lives in Vancouver, and she's very woke on like climate change and all that shit, and like she's like terrified of that shit, and she's like, it leads to this sort of like apathetic, like this whole generation. That's why they like Billie Eilish, because Billie Eilish makes like sad, like depressing kind of like depressed music, and these kids are just like so like apathetic. They're like, well, the world is gonna end in 12 years, like there's no environment left for us, like we're pretty much like super fucked, like and they know this because they're little internet kids, so they're all woke. So she wrote a poem that was actually pretty sick. But why did I bring this up? I was bringing this up, yeah, I don't remember why. I know I was talking about India. Why the fuck was I talking about India? I don't know. Huh? Oh yeah, because Queen Elizabeth. Oh yeah, going backwards and forwards in time. Thank you, Schmortle, with the fucking assist. I can't smoke 3 joints before I do the fucking podcast, and it's not even noon yet. Okay, anyways. Queen Victoria, she was funky, and you'd have to go forwards in time. Oh yeah, and then only 7 years because the world's gonna end, or maybe not. Who knows? But I do want the skateboards from Back to the Future. Okay, anyways, these kids are super woke, man. On the end of the world, man, and they're just fucking super apathetic. So how was my week? weekend, I went to the beach. No, did I already talk about that? I think actually what I actually did was I'll talk about the reason why I didn't do the podcast on Monday, because it was Victoria Day, long weekend. Get out there, fucking enjoy the sun, go out there with your little blankets and just fucking, pretend to read a book. I got this book. I'm chipping away at The Stand by Stephen King, and it's like I got the unabridged, like the fucking unedited version, the full version. It's like a 1,500-page book. I've talked about this before, and I'm like picked it back up again since school's done, and I'm like working away at it. And I've told myself that I can't read another book until I finish this book. So I have like 5 other books like in queue, just like waiting, like tapping their foot, like hello. And I'm like, no, I must do this. Because I like told myself I was going to read this massive book, and now it's just like it's become quite a burden on me. And I look at it and I'm like, fuck you. Because it's like some of the characters, it's like, yeah, there's a reason why there was like a version released that was like 500 less pages. There's a reason why that was released. But at the same time, it's like, that's cool. I like Stephen King. I've read like, I don't know, this will be probably like my 13th or 14th one of his books that I've read. And so I just got to fucking chip away at it, man. So so that's what I did on the weekend. I was like reading or whatever. But then I got a audition for a TV show, like a real ass TV show, like 10 episodes, like a real audition. So I had to fucking spend all that other free time like memorizing lines. And just like thinking about it, and like because it was like a 2-scene thing, like it was like 3 minutes, like it's just 2 scenes, so you kind of got to get it down. And then they had the thing, so I can't talk about like specifics of it or whatever, but it was a real TV show, so like I had to just do that, and it was like pretty cool. But then part of me was like, so I'm doing these auditions, and it's just like the self-tape is so like frustrating. And like for me as an actor, I always was a theater actor, and I just love the collaborative process of like building a show from nothing for people, and like you have to like kill it every time. I don't know. It's just like, and you're there in the moment, like with the person, and you're like acting in a scene with the people. And all the acting that I've done has always just been like, and lift the spoon. Okay, move your arm. It's more like, it's like modeling in motion is what it seems like. It's rather than acting, because it's like all the other stuff. It's like, okay, and then can you and then put a smile, eat the thing, and then smile. And it's like, I get that that's like acting, but or like I guess to a degree, but it more seems like, yeah, like modeling in motion, because acting is like this. You have to do this. You have to fucking hold your hand, and you have to do this. If there's one thing I learned from my fucking many years of studying acting as a child, is do this. For those people not watching the podcast, I'm like making like a Shakespeare, like holding the skull or whatever. Anyways, no, but it's about being in the scene and finding the fucking power dynamic with the person, and exploring the levels, and like looking and locking eyes with them, and then having them be off book and having you be off book. And then when you're both off book, getting to play around with the scene, and then the changes and the dynamics, and finding the point of the scene, and really exploring that, and the point, and the relationship, and the undercurrents of the relationship, and if you're talking about like 2 brothers and they're having a scene where they're arguing, it's like, well, are they really arguing about this, or are they arguing about 20 years of stuff? And this is just the argument is really about the 1 or 2 major, you know what I mean? Like, and then bringing that energy to the scene. And I don't know, it's just like hard. It's just fucking, and the camera acting is a little bit. That's why I think it's like the only thing I'm ever gonna do for camera acting, I think, is something that I write myself. Like that's the only thing I think I'll ever be able to do, is because the intents of like I don't know. It's like hard when it's just like. It's very, because a script is more like an invitation to collaborate than it is anything else. And unless you're doing some mammoth shit where he's like, it's on the fucking page, dude. But, which I can adhere to that acting philosophy too. Like, it's on the fucking page, man. So read it. But then there's also that part of like, let's find the intention of the scene. And then maybe if I change, there's a couple different words. Is the intention of the scene coming out? Like, do we need to say this line? Like, are we getting the point across in the best way possible between these two actors? So I'm like just having this fucking, the TV audition was cool. It's like nice to get those, like, it's like, oh, this is a cool, like it's a TV show audition and stuff. But it's like, I don't know. It's like stressing me out. Like it's not. I need the people, man. Being here in this studio is like, it's like this is fun. I like doing this. This is the thing that I like doing. But then that's when I have to do this acting stuff or whatever. It like takes away from like what I like to do. Because I was talking to Courtney about like what I want to do with this broadcasting diploma, and it's like at the end of the day, I want to host like a Canadian Tonight Show, but like not like how Jimmy Fallon does it. I want to host it like a little bit smarter, like a mix between like I like John Olive. I like the way that like John Olive like researches his jokes and stuff. So like do like mix John Oliver with like a little bit of like with the juice, man, and like have a little band, and then like because Canada has so many fucking amazing artists like that I know, like personally, like Kripal is one of the best rappers in this country, man. I know some of the best artists, poets. Ahmed Nomadic is one of the best fucking poets, man. The Command Sisters, these musicians these are all people from fucking Edmonton too. That's just from Edmonton. And they're all amazing at what they do. So, and there's no reason why, because Canada has such an inferiority complex where we look at our artists and we're like, well, if you're any good, you would just go to fucking America. Why aren't you in America right now? Because if you're good, you'd be in America and you'd be good in America. And there's this sort of like, we just immediately discredit someone just as Canadians for being Canadian, unless you kind of wiggle your way into this like hip zone, and you can find like the hip. We're able to have this almost like it's the same sort of thing that Tim Hortons tapped into. It's like your patriotic duty to fucking listen to this band, and like you can and if you could tap into that, that's cool. But other than that, everyone it's just like, oh well, it's just another fucking blah blah blah. And so there's no but it's like we need to showcase these people, you got to show that these people are here and they're good, and there's no reason why we should discredit them just because they fucking live here and they haven't left yet, man. And why would we keep encouraging that? Why would you want this brain drain, man? Quebec is fucking isolated in its own thing, and there are people in Quebec like fucking full-blown celebrity because they have their own culture, they have their own way of speaking, which necessitates its own media market, right? They need to have their own singers and broadcasters and journalists and fucking comedians and everything. They need that their own self-sustaining ecosystem of entertainment, and because of that, there's people that like I know who are comedians who like make millions just touring in Quebec because there's like whatever, how many people live there, like fucking 8 million people or whatever, like that's enough, and you got the whole fucking province watching you, man. So that's enough money to 8 million people, bro. That's not even that many people watch the fucking Tonight Show anyways right now. Like you'd be lucky if the Jimmy Fallon's getting fucking 5 million people watching his show. So it's not like it can't be done. You just have to fucking have like Quebec has this like nationalistic pride that we need to tap into as well as this rather than this inferiority and not like nationalistic pride. Now that gets a little dangerous. You you want to be careful where you fucking go with that, but you know what I'm saying, right? When it comes to art, it not really necessarily your what you look like, but but it needs to, when it comes to the art that's coming out of the country, I think a nationalistic pride is a necessity. So, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Fucking Oilers, eh? Holy fuck, man. Fucking Oilers is all I can say, man. I love them and I hate them. It's like the thing with Oilers fans is that, and I think is the same thing with Leafs fans. Actually, I should say for most sports franchises, actually. But it's like the people who are fans, they're like, this is my team and you fucking play for it. And and every time that you fail, it's like fuck you. Like you're not worthy. You know what I mean? It's like this sort of like, it's like, this is my team and you're letting me down. And then and then Oilers fans especially get to have run that narrative, which Leafs fans love running with. It's like, oh, McDavid hates it here. Like, poor McDavid. Like, he's going to want out. And then I sort of feel bad for McDavid too, because he is like, could you imagine being the best in the world at something and then not getting the thing that affirms that? I would fucking suck, man. Can you imagine a guy like that going his whole his whole time in the league without ever winning the fucking cup, man? That'd be crazy. He has to win it. And is it going to be on the Oilers? You got to be like, all right, fuck. I don't know, maybe. But Draisaitl, I don't know. What do, man? You just got to get the depth. I don't know fuck all about hockey. I never played hockey, but I watch it lots. And I feel like, I don't know, fucking Oilers. I was there in the decade of darkness. That's when I became a fan. Actually, I became a fan in the 06-07 Cup run with Chris Pronger, and they made it to Game 7 because I was making a bunch of money. Me and my buddy Oaks were fucking busking outside of Rexall Place at the time, playing guitar, just G, C, D, and A minor, and fucking just playing chords, and I was just improvising lyrics. And I remember on the way in, we'd make like $5, and on the way out, if the Oilers won, we'd make like $100, and because they'd all be liquored up, and we'd be like, yeah, and they'd be like, woo, and then we'd just be like, Oilers, fucking Oilers, and I'd just sing Oilers, and we both had long hair, and we looked gnarly, and bandanas. Anyways, that's when I became a fan, and then the decade of darkness happened. So I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Shout out to a promotional consideration for the show. Let's Do This is provided by our Patreons. Anthony, Blair, Joel, Nick, and Mac. Bubba, who we got the new stuff from King Tut's coming in here soon for you. We got it's Canada Post robbery again. Bubba, Marnus, Taryn, and Bryce. And in the motherfucking Hall of Fame, Colette and Andre. Say they motherfucking name. And also go to visit our sponsor, kingtutscannabis.com. Use the promo code Drew to get 10% off your order, and that's kingtutscannabis.com. And right now they're running another promo where you spend $1.50 and then you get like $80 worth of shit too. So they always have promos, so sign up for their email list and use the promo code Drew. And they also have a refer a friend. So if you used my promo code and then you get a refer a friend, then you get $25, and then you also get 15% off. It's your first time. So there's a potential for you to get 25% off your order and a $25 fucking referral code if you fucking pyramid scheme this shit. But it's not really a pyramid scheme because it's just weed. So go to kingtutscannabis.com, use the promo code Drew for 10% off your order. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Sorry about Monday. I had an audition for a fucking TV show. But, yeah. Anyways, the music is probably already played. And thank you, Schmortle, for the assist on the podcast there. Gotta love it. Thank you. Okay, love you. Bye.